You are grieving people who are still alive. You sit across from someone you love. The evening is good. Nothing is wrong. And some part of you is already at their funeral. And somewhere behind your eyes, a quiet voice has already started the math. This will end. You can feel the future absence sitting inside the present moment, like a shadow thrown backward from a loss that hasn't happened yet. You tell yourself you're enjoying it. You are, just never all of it. Never all the way. There's a phrase you reach for when something hurts. This too shall pass. It was built to carry you through grief, but you've been whispering it over your happiness. You think this is wisdom. You think bracing for the end is how a grown man stays safe. Tonight, I'm going to show you the bill, and what it has cost you to keep paying it. Ask him why he keeps the good at arm's length, and he won't call it fear. He'll call it realism. I don't get my hopes up. I don't count on anything. That way, nothing can blindside me. It sounds like maturity. It sounds like a man who has been hurt and learned. Here is what makes it the perfect disguise. Every word of it is true. Lowering your hopes really does soften the fall. But notice what he's actually doing. He has decided that the way to survive a loss is to start losing the thing now, while he still has it. He grieves the friend who is sitting right beside him. He mourns the marriage that is still warm. He says goodnight to the child every evening, in advance, in his chest, where no one can see. You've done it this week, not because you're morbid, because somewhere you learned that joy is dangerous, that a man who feels it all the way is a man who can be destroyed. Here is the truth. You are not at peace with the fact that things end. You are prepaying for grief. You found a loss you couldn't survive once, and you made a quiet arrangement with it. A contract. You'd pay a little grief every day in advance, so that the day the real loss came, the bill would already be settled. It feels like insurance. It is the worst deal you have ever signed. Because grief paid early does not transfer. The loss still comes. It comes at full price, and it finds you already exhausted from mourning a man who hadn't died yet. You think the premium is small. The premium is the present. Every good moment, taxed before you're allowed to hold it. Every embrace, quietly discounted, so the ending can never take you whole. You are not protecting yourself from the future. You are amputating yourself from the only part of your life that is actually happening. So where does a man learn to grieve what he still has? James Hollis, the Jungian analyst, wrote a line in 2009 in a book called What Matters Most. He said that living partially, living fearfully, is our most common daily collusion with death. Sit with that. The thing you do to avoid death is a small, daily dying. Carl Jung knew the honest version of this. In an essay called The Soul and Death, he wrote that past the middle of life, a man is meant to turn quietly toward his own ending, not in fear, as a fulfillment. The cooler winds that begin to blow after a certain age are not the enemy. They are the truth, arriving on time. But that is not what you've done. You didn't turn toward death once, with reverence. You moved in with it. You let it sit at every dinner. Jung had a name for a part of you that runs on its own, against your will. He called it a complex. A splinter of the psyche with its own memory and its own job. Yours is a mourner, a figure who learned a long time ago that everything good gets taken. So he arrives at the funeral early, every time, to get the crying done before the death. You've met his brother. The watchman who can't be in the room because he's guarding the door. This one can't be in the room either. He's already at the grave. The mourner is not you. He's a part of you, doing a job you handed him as a boy, and no one has ever told him the job is over. You don't fix this by force. A man who orders himself to just be present is still holding the contract. He's only gripping it tighter. You do it in 3 returns. Not techniques. Returns to a life you've been watching from 1 step back. The first is to catch the tax as it's collected. The next time something is good, watch for the small exit. The half-second where your mind slips out of the moment to start writing the ending. When you feel it, name it, quietly. The mourner just sat down. Nobody has died. You're not forcing yourself to stay. You're just, for once, catching the hand that's reaching for your wallet. The second is to stay 30 seconds past the exit. You don't have to feel the whole thing at full volume. You just delay your leaving. 30 more seconds inside the good moment, after the part of you that wants to flee has already stood up. That gap, between when you usually leave and when you actually have to, is the width of your real life. Most men have never once measured it. The third is the hardest. When a real loss finally comes, let it cost full price. Don't be relieved that you saw it coming. Don't reach for, "I always knew." Stand in it, whole, the way it was always going to cost you anyway. And notice the thing no one told you. You survive it. At full price, you survive it. Which means you never had to pay the installments at all. The man who tears up the contract does not become naive. He knows everything ends. He just stops collecting on it early. He is not braver about loss. He is greedier about life. When the evening is good, he's all the way inside it. Not because he's forgotten it will end, but because he finally understands the ending was never the part he got to keep. His joy doesn't come with an asterisk. His love doesn't come with an exit already drawn on the map. And when the loss comes, and it will, it takes him at full price, and it finds him with nothing to regret. Because he was there. The whole time, he was actually there. You learned to grieve early to survive a loss you couldn't carry as a boy. You carried it. You're still here. The mourner can stand down now. If you felt the watchman too, the part of you that guards every room instead of living in it, that's the next door to open. Subscribe if you're ready to do the real work. I'll see you in the next one.